been guilty of that, that's a win-win for everybody. Because think about it. If he didn't do it, that means she didn't get raped either. So if you like, man, I hope he didn't do it, that means I hope this chick didn't get raped by this dude as well.
I believe it.
Right.
I believe it all.
That's true.
Creek, did you believe it when it first came out? Because I know some that was like, no, he didn't do it, period.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't on that boat.
I was 50-50.
And you know who I'm not if y'all listen to our podcast.
I was more 50-50 because of how they said it went down. Like, when I first heard the story and heard how it went down, I was like, dang, back in that era, it was probably likely that he may have done it. But then when I started thinking to myself, I was hoping maybe he didn't. Similar to the reasons that Ham just acknowledged. So I was 50-50. I didn't really know. I couldn't even say one way or the other. It's
the same principle when people didn't think OJ did it. And knowing good and damn well, you like, he
did that joint.
But you just like, I don't want to believe it. It's OJ.
Yep.
If he didn't do it, he had something to do with it. OJ knew more than what he let on.
No, he did that joint. That's a crime of passion. That's stabbing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But that's the problem. I just think I feel bad for females, and I have a daughter, and then when something happens, they just don't have they're never taken seriously.
I got a question.
What you got, Lyle?
I got a question though in the Bill Cosby example. Okay, and I'm just asking this because why did it take them so long to come forward? Now, before you use the celebrity thing, you got to think about now. This was back in the 60s and 70s, and yes, even though Bill Cosby was a celebrity, he was still black. And these are white women. Yeah. So if they had came out then, he would have been vilified then as well. So you can't really use the celebrity defense, for that point.
But they did come out. Why? Many of them did. And then, two, they said it was a joke amongst people in Hollywood. That's what Bill did. Like, that was known. You know how this is like an inside thing where people just know, like, that's just what Lance does.
That was his M.O.
That was his M.O. to people in Hollywood.
He even had it. He even mentioned it in
the
stand-up.
He wasn't the only one. The thing is, he wasn't the only one. I'm confident that he wasn't the only one. But he was probably the biggest name at the time, but still remaining.
Lyle, to answer your question, I think part of it is for the very reason what happened when they did come out. No matter when they come out, they're not going to be believed, and then they have to relive it all over again, and then they get shamed and nobody believes them, nothing happens. So then they put themselves out there, and then nothing came of it, and now people think they're lying and they're trying to get money or discredit someone.
And then with social media, too, it gave them a better platform than they ever could have had before. And with that snowball effect, it was almost like a class action suit instead of you just being by yourself. So, you know what I'm saying? You garner more sympathy now being a part of that whole group of abused women than just one random person.
And it's strength in numbers. Strength in numbers.
So, class action suit.
So, using Donald Trump as an example, what if we had never seen that video and heard the tape, the actual audio of what he said, and then some woman described verbatim what he said he did? Nobody would believe her.
Yep.
Nobody would believe her.
Donald scumbag.
Yeah, part of it I would believe him because I would have believed Trump.
Donald Trump's a scumbag.
You can say anything to me that Donald Trump did wrong, and I would believe you because I hate him.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right. There's nothing.
And he lied 99.9% of the time.
Yeah. There's nothing you can say to me that he did, and I wouldn't believe it. You tell me he killed somebody, I'd be like, yeah, he probably did. Like,
he ordered.
Okay.
He had a hand in it.
Well, let's segue since we're talking about these women. Recently, I can't say everything's recent because it's like stuff happens instantly. But there have been videotape of a panel of 8 or 9 Caucasian women on video defending Donald Trump. What do you guys think attributes them to? Like, what about them as women? Are still supporting this guy. Like, what's going on with that?
That's mind-boggling.
It's because they
That's mind-boggling to me.
They capping for their husbands.
Yeah,
They capping for their husbands. That's all it is. Their husbands. They're doing that because of something that probably like their husband is probably super Republican or whatever, and is putting them up to that.
It's the
like I don't think any woman under their own like volition could still fuck with Donald Trump. Like,
nah,
come on now.
It's got to be more like a Stepford wife type of woman to be like, okay.
Right.
Donald's still okay.
Okay, cool. Next point. Like if I rob a bank and if I'm sitting in the car and Lance robs a bank, he gets back in the car and he drives off, I'm still going to jail because I'm an accessory. How guilty do you think Billy Bush was of just being in the locker room and trying to, just being a part of that conversation? Do you think he deserved to be fired? Go.
Yes.
Yes.
reason?
Yeah.
Just because he got caught up. Like, was he admitting to your analogy? Like, it's not saying that he did those acts, but he was entertaining those things, and it's just inappropriate for the position that he has. If he was just like,
Exactly.
if he wasn't on the Today Show or whatever show he is, and I would say no. But the fact that he represents that organization, and it's already out there, so people know how he talks behind closed doors. You got to do it.
Mm-hmm. And then after that,
okay.
I don't think he's disgusting. If that's your question.
No, he's not. He's not disgusting or a pig or anything like that. But you're sitting there engaging in a conversation with someone who, by all intents and purposes, by definition, is describing sexual assault, and he's reveling in it. He's like laughing and making a joke of it, and you're egging him on. So that's just not a good look. So yeah, he had to go.
See you, boy.
Cool, Lyles. What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had to go. Just like about the same thing that Mike just said. Like, I mean, he might think it's unfair or whatever, but this is the thing, like, the whole time they were doing it, they never thought that it was going to get out. So he probably was all about it, like, when it was happening, because he didn't think it was ever going to be public. You know how it is, you talk to somebody, you don't think, you confide in somebody, you're around somebody, you don't think it's going to get out. You might say some things that you wouldn't typically say in front of other people. I'm not talking about, like, of this nature, but I'm just saying in general.
But you know what, though? Because it just came out. They said he was bragging about it in Rio.
Mm-hmm.
My bad, Lyles, I cut you off. But they said he was bragging about
having possession of the tape in
Rio.
Right. And that's what always happens. It's always the person, just like if you ever, most of the time, like, if you get caught watching porn, it's usually because you left the DVD or the tape in the fucking player and you got caught. It's not because they walked in on you. It's because you did some dumb shit. Yeah. Like, that's most of the time when people get caught.
Right.
Like on Minister
forgot to exit out.
Very true.
Right.
Like on Minister Society, where outta was going around showing the tape to everybody.
Yep. Reckless.
Right.
You just
people rarely get people rarely get caught the first time. I mean, statistics show, especially with rapists.
And this dude, 59.
By the time they've raped or molested someone, they've been well on to at least their third or fourth person. They're well into the numbers.
This
all goes to rich white male privilege and that thought of that superiority, where they think they can talk about stuff like that, and it's like they're not gonna care. Nobody gonna say anything about this. Like, I'm, Billy Bush or whatever. I'm just out here joking around with the boys or whatever. Like, nobody gonna say anything. Like, why would they turn me in? Like, why are you that dumb to go around bragging about something like that? Yeah. It's just crazy to me, like, that mentality of just like, I can say and do whatever I want, and I don't really have to be held accountable for it. Like, I don't feel like I should be held accountable for it.
I think that was most offensive to the level of comfort they had too.
Y'all keep talking. I think Mike dropped off. I'm gonna add him back right quick.
Okay, yeah, I think the level of comfort really took people off guard. Let me see. You say, Mike, you want us to pause a second, or we good?
No, we good. Oh. Mike, are you on?
Now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, guys, on the scale. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, because what about how now, because you guys have all listened to, like, you've all listened to Howard Stern or at some point, or heard stuff, whatever. And you know how that show goes. I mean, they go in there and they just talk all kind of craziness, and some of it, I think sometimes there's a lot of hype, like, you kind of playing into, like, the whole Howard Stern
like a shot
persona or whatever. Yeah. And so how do you guys feel about the comments from, the Donald Trump interview on Stern now being kind of used against him and used against him as well?
They should be. He's a scumbag. It's fair game.
It's fair game because he's running for president. Like, nobody.
They should be.
If he wasn't running for president, nobody would care about these things. Now, the sexual assault is different, but nobody would care about all the other outrageous things he said about his, like, Playboy lifestyle. But the fact that he's running for president, you just have a higher standard. Like, you should literally be a role model to everybody.
And for our listeners who are not aware, he said it was okay for Howard to refer to his daughter as, quote unquote, a piece of ass.
Yep.
Now that's in every arena there's something always off limit, and my kids are definitely going to be off limit.
Super off limit.
Yeah, we would have to go to commercial
break. My
wife
super off limit.
Yeah,
and he said he used to, as the owner of the pageant, the Miss Universe, it gave him free reign, where he used it just to walk in on the dressing room, so that he would see him naked, and he basically that's just one of the perks of it. And one of them came out that the pageant was like Miss Teen, which is 13 to 16 years old.
Oh, come on now,
so that's a whole nother level of creep.
Yeah, you getting real shady right there.
So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
And this is the crazy thing is his own words. Like, how do you get? Literally, people go to jail for that. That would be considered like a confession, right?
Yeah.
So think about it from a legal standpoint. If he said, "I did these things," and then a woman or an accuser
says yes,
corroborated
it was me.
that soldier, that story, and said the exact same things that Donald Trump said, he's going to jail. But they're like, well, here's your account, here's her account, and it matches up, so it must be true. Mm-hmm. It's like that. But people still believe him. I mean, people still support him. Even the evangelicals.
Yeah, what's the good dude off the 700 Club was defending him too, and he been on
Jerry Falwell.
He been on some
Jr.,
BS for a long time.
Which one?
Jerry Falwell Jr. just was on CNN the other day.
Is that the president of Liberty?
It seemed like he was high as hell trying to defend Donald Trump, talking about how we were supposed to forgive him, and then we don't know if they're supposed to. I don't know. He said he didn't do it, so I believe him. And they asked him something about how he felt about the ladies who just came out. Like, they pretty much played the clip for him, and he still was in denial. So, I mean, it's just, the blind followers.
But Donald's stupid, too, because they even asked, one of his defenses that he wouldn't have done that because she wasn't attractive.
I was about to, let's start right there, too, because I was just going to say on the scale from 1 to 10, I need 2 answers. Scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What's your rating and assessment of Donald Trump's defense? Let's try to be impartial. Like, if you imagine yourself being Donald, like if you were backed in the corner, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody got the dirt on you just like that, and you gave it to him, but you got to fight out that corner. How good of a job did he do fighting out of that corner of this scandal in the debate? Lance, go.
A 2.
2? And why is that?
Because he skated the question. Anderson had to push him on it 3 times.
What do you think he could have done better?
What he could have done better? If he should have been more emphatic that I did not do it and these are lies, versus like trying to talk around it, and then saying by the 3rd time Anderson said, "Did you do any of these things that you said you did?" And he said no, but he kept talking, so it just wasn't believable.
Okay,
so if you're gonna lie, just make it more believable.
Got you.
He gets a 1. He gets a 1 because he showed up. He didn't forfeit the debate, so he gets a 1.
Dang.
He gets a 1. And the reason why I give him a 1 is because everyone knows if you're running for politics, some of the best things that you can do, everyone loves a sincere, heartfelt apology.
Yeah.
And if you can't give that and be sincere about it, you're pretty much you have to be believable one way or the other if you're a politician. You either have to be able to lie and be convincing, or tell the truth and be convincing. He was neither one. He gets 1. He gets a 1. He showed up.
Got you.
So he was terrible.
Loud, shoot.
Opinion.
What you got?
I'm gonna give him a 7.
A what?
A 7.
I'm gonna give him a 7.
For what?
I'm gonna tell y'all why. Let me tell you why. Because
I'm trending like
this
Laos.
is the thing. See, y'all are taking this as if Donald was talking to y'all. He's not talking to us. Donald doesn't care about apologizing for us.
Yeah.
Donald does everything that he does to be Donald and to pander to those people who like Donald. So he was who he was on the stage.
Damn.
Like, I'm not going to do it. Yeah,
think.
whatever. I'm just going to be myself. If he had to be any other way, the people who cat for him right now that are riding for him would be like, wow, why is he apologizing? They want that Donald. They want that Donald that was on the the stage. So that's who he plays up to. He doesn't care about what we think.
It doesn't. But he can't win.
He can't win anyway, Mike. He knows he can't win. So now he's just being Donald.
Yeah, he did.
But what I'm saying is, ideally for the debate, ain't no way. Ain't no way in the world. 7? No.
Donald is playing his next move because Donald knows he's not winning. So now Donald is just becoming more and more outrageous.
I gave Donald a 7.5 because of the same reason. Yeah, I gave him a 7.5 because Donald is protecting his brand at this point. It's not even about this race because it could have went way worse. But
his brand is already done.
No, he's creating another brand.
No, it's not.
It's
not.
What do you think is going to be like Fox News?
Him and his supporters.
Yeah,
I guarantee he's going to go ahead and do what Jim Jones did. He's going to go ahead and get his people and secede from the country and go somewhere else.
Hey, that might not be a bad idea.
Great.
I'll do a GoFundMe.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Watch after the election. It's gonna be something Trump network or whatever. He's gonna come up with